So Talon might just, again, go for that idea of going for something else on mid. Up against the Storm, Monkey King would have been fine, but you end up with Monkey King Underlord, which is kind of ideal. If not, then what Natsumi heroes are there? The hero can still melt a lot of others. It's maybe not as threatening as it once was, but it certainly still has a spot in the meta for sure.
Yeah, I mean, earlier it was just completely busted, I want to say. Like, now it's kind of like, it's fair. Top lane certainly not as hard as it would have been last series around for WS and Jokam. I mean, you're up against a Tiny and a Ringmaster. As I say that, they are trying onto Jokam, but they just don't have the damage output. Nice little stun from WS to ensure there was no real follow-up, though. Aizen's still trying for maybe a tree throw. In fact, it was a toss into a tree throw, but doesn't actually end up throwing the tree in the end. Now he's fighting for a healing Lotus, but WS will happily take that fight. And Aizen, I don't know if this is really the smart move here, sir. It is not. He's gone. 5 and 21 and 6 for both the mid laners, so very even affair between the Storm laner. Which is probably really good news if you're Ken, because it should have been an advantageous matchup for the laner. It seems like Ken has still managed to even out very, very nicely. It seems like Jokam is hanging around, annoying Ken. In fact, Ken, as I say, that might just be dead. Makoto, Dragon Slave, it's going to connect.
I will want to make mention, shout out to Mr. Lane for some reason calling me in the middle of a cast. Thank you.
Oh,
that ringing tone in my head, it's amazing.
I've done it here, John. This one's actually my fault. I thought you were safe, sir. I promise. I promise I thought you were safe.
As it's starting to pile up for Talon, right? 4-0, 2K lead coming in. All the lanes looking fantastic. Again, we're not seeing those weaker lanes as Ken.
Oh, these are really nice rotations here from Talon. Very smart rotation. Ken still a while away from level 6. At least Grims does take the invis, but they had a sentry here from Jokam, and Grims is going to narrowly avoid the power shot. But it won't matter in the end, will it, Jonathan? It will not. Makoto with a double kill on the laner. Almost all the towers for the tier 1s. The only one standing now being the bottom one. That you can just sit back and relax. In fact, look at this. Mid lane, they're going to try for Jokam. He wind runs his way out. Do they dive? They will, and now they want to fight. They'll take down Jokam, but what's it going to cost? What's it going to cost? Oh, Ken, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's optimistic. Again, you could argue this is space. You could argue you're building up on Aizen. He's got the Echo, but
this could be a good one. This will be a good fight if they can get at least someone worth getting. Cuckoo's not really worth getting, but they'll take it. Issue is, Jonathan, that's your whole team down at bottom lane to secure a Jakira.
Yeah, Talon's ready. They're still in position here. Blink on WS.
Egg drop. Makoto's probably going to have to ignore that. Zip forward from Ken, but he's a little bit short, so the egg is going to explode, but catches nobody. They're still trying for Makoto. Boundless strike off the mark. Makoto, he will die. A good start to this fight so far for the dire end, but the fight does continue as Natsumi goes down now. Aizen with the avalanche toss taking him out. A very nice fight from Ivory. So it looks like he wants to play with that power spike he's got. He's going to wrap around. In fact, never mind. He'll go back down to the bottom lane, trying for Rupido. Just wants the quick snipe. And they should eventually have him, and they do. And with that, of course, the tier 1 bottom tower going to be easily dealt with. Not exactly what you want for Ken, but he's hoping for another. But he won't get it. Haystrom picked up by WS. He wants to fight. Could he find a big... Oh, he has! Oh. He has! He found the 3-man! Oh, no! I'll tell you what, John, you could see that coming from a mile away. You saw it. It was slow motion. Perfect stunt from WS.
We have a beautiful readout from WS, and looking to pressure up top, still working as a unit, using Cuckoo as bait. See if someone bites.
We shall see. Cuckoo not going to get caught. He'll just take the Shrine of Wisdom. They are still trying to contest. Here comes Aizen, but WS again. Double stun out. Ken, though, in the backside does get shackled up here. This could be a pretty horrible team fight. They'll drop the wheel, but is it going to matter? The chase is on. Stampede has been committed. Ken's going to zip away. Looks like they have caught themselves a Ringmaster, and that'll be Grims to go down as now Aizen also being jumped. Barely avoids the stun here from Makoto. And it might be time to leave now, because Ken has regened a little bit. He can come back in for this fight. In fact, he's been caught now. The ice path from Cuckoo. Not going to really hold him down long enough, though. They'll move on to Aizen once again. Aizen dropping low. They'll get at least the Aegis off of the monkey kick. So Natsumi's down. Meanwhile, WS, he's having a look for Aizen, but the Invi's going to save his life, so instead they'll take Ken's life. Aizen? Oh, Joe Cam. He's got a power shot. Does he want to try? No, he does.
Keeping the Storm down, keeping him away from even more galvanized attacks could be good, but they are getting rear-ended here just a bit.
Jump in, WS. Gonna find a nice quickie. Grimm's trying to buy himself a bit of time here. Does get the escape act off. A bit of time being bored here for himself, but nothing to write home about. They'll take his life away. Ken desperately just trying to clear out the creep wave before he leaves, but oh, Joe Cam's gonna catch him! He doesn't back off in time! I guess he must have assumed Talon wouldn't be coming. But it feels like the Storm's game is just too important to be kind of dropping like this.
It certainly is.
Well, at least maybe they'll find Natsumi. And that's a big maybe, John, because Joe Cam's here. Never mind, John. They're not going to find Natsumi.
Pretty sure he's doing that as insurance for good old WS. He's like, I've seen this before. I've seen it.
It's important.
Aizen.
There you go. Speaking of the devil, Natsumi's going to find Aizen. But Aizen's the one being targeted here as Grimm's going to try and help out, though I don't think there's any help in poor old Aizen. He's gone and so is Grimm. It's a grim game, Jonathan. Excuse the pun. Oh, they didn't see Makoto either. Ken, it's a... Oh, you're right, Ken. Get out of there. Oh, here comes the real problem, though. Joe Cam. Joe Cam's on the hunt. Ken's okay. He's fine.
No.
Although oh no, no, I've done it again, haven't I, John?
Oh.
Ken? Oh no! Not Ken! He'll zip into the base, but it's the wrong base, Ken. Get out of there! Oh, poor Ken. He got his BKB, John. That's the good news. At the top lane, Cuckoo's being chased down by Aizen, who has no blink dagger up, so it's a bit of a slow process, but he'll finally get there. Cuckoo actually still alive, but finally will go down. There's now the Stampede, and the turnaround. Escape back committed. Is it going to matter for Aizen? He's still trying to make his way out, but he's just completely surrounded no matter where he goes. But he will make it barely, though. WS! The stun in again, even with the workhorse. Aizen barely escaping, but not for long. He's gone. Maybe they find the Centaur, or maybe not. WS just tanks through all the damage. Natsumi finding Drick. Escape back to try and help out. But it was all an act, Jonathan. Drick. No, he's actually okay. He's out. He's made it.
Whenever I think of classic CCNC, I just think of Optic Gaming for some reason.
Oh.
I always go back to that. It's not even his Pango comments. It's just him playing Death Prophet and Lush as the catch one.
Yeah. Escape act at least going to buy him a bit of time to find a way out. Aizen actually jumped in, but he can't sustain himself. Makoto just stands his ground. Says, where you going, boy? And with that, tier 3 tower under siege now. Gale Force Rupido just trying to get away. Rod Atos to lock him down. Oh my goodness. Makoto now getting jumped, but the ice path onto Ken. Ken's going to pop his BKB. Makoto, he's still mad fighting. He doesn't care. Grims is down now. Call it, boys. Enough. Throw in the towel. There you go. GG. My goodness.
Yeah, I feel like...
Did I say we're going to a third game, John? Is that what I said?
That's
Did I
what
say
you
that?
did, Mikey. You did say that. It's on the record. You know, we were live, and no one cares about runes, so that's certainly a possibility. They covered their bases here on Talon. They just banned Puck, and nothing silly like that. Just the Storm slides out. You do not have the best stuns for the Storm.
Let's be frank, John. It was pretty one-sided. Did not look very challenging for Talon. I don't know. Maybe this is the game where Ivory show us that they're not going to go down without a fight.
Your lanes are going very well on Talon, and even the mid lane. It's a little bit slower for Makoto. Ken has managed to catch up a little bit, but mid lane's not being crushed either way.
They try to jump in on Natsumi. Rupido's actually stuck here between the creep wave and the trees. And now he's in big trouble because the chase is on from Cuckoo. Rupido, he does not have any points in Surge. I appreciate the desperation of...
A nice little buckler, a little bit more armor to play with. Just very hard to zone out. And he cuts down the damage on Aizen once every time he comes in with the anchor smash. They are focusing mid a bit here.
Cam trying to snipe Ken. Actually, they've got Ken as well. Ken's just dead. Natsumi even joining in. In fact, Drick trying to play the game. Does take down Joe Cam. Has another Blink Strike ready. Just needs a target and does find Grims.
I think well. There are some wards at least to watch if anyone's still hanging around the area. Haru?
Maybe they can hope for Makoto. There's the silence out with the smoke screen. Fear out as well. Makoto, he's unable to get away. Very nice play here from Drick and Grims, just ensuring that they had barely enough to find a bit of a revenge kill. Meanwhile, Drick narrowly avoiding the power shot that was incoming, but Cuckoo's still on the chase. Looks like Cuckoo just gonna have to settle for a courier.
Yeah, just get some equilibrium back his way. The one big blessing for Mikado is that he did manage to pick up the region route, so if he wanted to play fast, they could. Aizen?
Yeah, that's a bit problematic. Natsumi just easiest TP rotation. Aizen loses his courier as well.
But the tools are slowly coming together. Mind you, they need to do something about Natsumi. 201 on the NP, 4K net worth right now. They'll try.
They are giving it a crack. This will be a big pick-off if they can get it. Again, the smokescreen making life very hard, though. Natsumi getting in the Sprout. Will not be able to get away, but... Oh my goodness, it felt somewhat close as Cuckoo now also being chased down. Should be dead. I mean, it's 4 versus 1. Eventually they'll catch him. That'll be a very nice couple of kills here, especially the kill, of course, onto Natsumi.
Catching up shouldn't be too big of an issue once he mails for himself. Natsumi heads back bot again.
Oh
they are still here.
More TPs coming this time. WS trying to get there in time to help out. Does have a skill point saved for that Ravage if he needs it. Shackle gonna land Ken. He's low on mana. He's out of remnants as well. Oh, Ken playing with fire a little bit too much, I think. Does get taken down.
Scout out, gets a nice block as well onto the camp, cutting off some of that form here on the side of Ivory. And they've got some really good forward vision. Maybe doubling up on these forwards by mid. Still.
Yeah, Drick just desperately trying to get a bit of farm and XP in while he can, but looks like it may cost his life, though for now he'll barely make it. Cuckoo unable to finish the job yet. The escape art saving, but no, the power shot from Joe Camp allowing just enough, though. In comes Rupido now with the wall drop as well to ensure that they come out on the positive end of that fight, and they certainly do. Ken, they're going to risk it. They'll take the top. It's going to be bottom, though. Illusion Rune as well, so it's not really worth too much. They're still going to try and jump in onto Makoto. Makoto dropping quite low. He's just trapped in the wheel and does go down. A big Ravage, though, connecting onto 2. But where's the follow-up? Natsumi's trying to deal with Rupido, but Rupido's surging out of there, so instead he has to turn onto Ken, who does go down. Oh, Ken not getting the remnant off in time. It's still not the worst fight in the world. It's a 1-for-1 on both mid laners. But Grims, he decided he wanted to make it a bit more uneven.
And they are just falling for Aizen. Right? Like, he's been stuck in the jungle. He has Maelstrom up. He's trying to get that farm. And he's slowly working to that point. They did force out Ravage as well, so they know they've got about a minute where you don't have to worry. Still, Rupido.
Oh, stranger here, Rupido. Oh, he's there. He's gone. He is gone. Natsumi with the killing spree now. Grimm's also getting caught out.
The Mage Slayer on Ken can help mitigate some of the damage, especially from Mikado if he does manage to get his hits off. And eventually you're going to try to hit the short on Drick.
Oh, it's there onto Ken, but Ken's still okay. There wasn't enough follow-up to it. WS trying to find a nice Ravage. Meanwhile, Rupido, he'll drop the wall. It looks like they've caught Ken again. Ken trying to get a remnant out of there. Now a Ravage committed, catching 2 of them. Rupido still in huge trouble. Finally will die. Meanwhile, Ken barely escaping out. But the chase continues. Talon still want a bit more out of this. In fact, it looks like that should be it. WS, has he stuck around too long? Aizen will move in. He's a tanky boy, but not that tanky yet. Though I say that. They're doing no damage to him. In fact, Drick comes in now. They've got to get the hell out of there. In comes Makoto looking for Ken, and he's found him with the Vortex. Ken is down. They'll try for Makoto, but he just gets out. He just zips away. Drick's lost vision. Drick's still looking. Oh, he's not going to catch him in time. Does he
Oh.
want to try for WS? I don't think he does. Empowerment arts do land at least, but it won't matter. Instead, they'll try for Joe Camp, and he'll just run out of it. The chase continues, but who's going to lock him down? Eisen? He'll get there eventually. The surge will ensure he gets there. But now Talon want another fight. Cuckoo's having a look for a hookshot target. They're not going to find one.
Again, it's just a awkward set of circumstances. You're trying to poke and prod
And-
right around that rune area.
Okay, he pops the Hawk. In fact, the Vortex to start. The hook angle's not there, but it may not matter. Ken's just down. I forgot WS has the Dead in the Water shards up now, so times are tough for Ken. Rupido, speaking of tough times, he's going to drop to boot. They still want to fight. I mean, Cuckoo, he'll get caught, but Talon, they're still ready to go whenever. In fact, it was just Makoto. So the Cuckoo kill does work out in their favor. No real punishment here from Talon.
It's in the skill name, Mikey. You know, it's living up to it. I feel like that should have bonuses in the rivers. They keep chasing here.
That's a good point, Rupido. Still running. Has another surge up now, but the Vortex will land, and you've got the Rod of Atos as well. So that surge is not going to be doing too much work, as they will be able to secure another kill for Joe Cam.
So the initiation with Ravage becomes a lot easier, or the follow-through with a Ravage becomes a lot easier to find here. He is spotted.
Can they deal with him, though? Here comes Natsumi. Oh, what a hook! What a hook from Cuckoo again. He threaded the needle that time, Jonathan. Makoto finding another.
Again, it's another rough game. The lanes didn't go out the way they'd wanted to. This gambit with the Darkseer and the Ricky hasn't really amounted to much.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice attempt, but no escape for poor old Eisen. Doesn't have a BKB yet either. The BKB TP is now Drick. Has been spotted by good old Joe Cam. Still dusted up as well. He's got a pretty tough time ahead of him, I think, here, John. Tricks the trade onto the high ground. TP away. Oh, is he actually going to make it? He does.
Oh.
Well, isn't that just lovely from Drick? Meanwhile, Rupido, mid lane, in trouble, gets saved by the escape arts, but it's not going to matter too much unless he can run away, and he cannot. Cuckoo's in with the hook shot. Ken just needs to get the hell out.
Like the short timing, oh wow, it's amazing. Until everyone has a force staff. It's like, what do? You don't have hard stuns.
Go Ken. Oh, they're going to find Ken. A perfect target to start off with, and let me tell you, John, it really doesn't take too long to deal with Ken, as now Drick also caught by Cuckoo, and Cuckoo actually did that blind. I believe that was an accident on Cuckoo's part. Won't really matter, though, because it's still going to pay off. The Centaur getting involved now, trying to stun everybody up, but there's your Ravage now, committed by WS, catching 3 heroes. However, Makoto getting a little bit low, does need to back off, but here comes Natsumi. That's the big one you got to worry about now. Natsumi just hitting away. Rupido trying to run, will not make it out. WS?
The force stabs are starting to form up. No one's going to be annoyed by the smoke. Your damage with Eisen isn't great, Cuckoo.
Oh, they found the big one! What a cogs pushback here from Cuckoo. Eisen, he's barely out of there for now, but no, the power shot. The execution from Joe Cam. Makoto, has he gone too far? Answer is no, Jonathan. He certainly has not. Another execution here as they call GG. They've had enough. So have I, John. Talon. 4 games, 4 wins.
They managed to get it going, and Ivory, unfortunately, again, just falling a little bit short. Look, they tried something different in the draft. I do appreciate that. They prioritize Rupido's pickup. They prioritize that Darkseer. The combinations left